Okay, guys, some great highlights from the chat room today. GreatStockPicks.com on Thursday, July 26th. Let's start with Las Vegas Sands. LVS gapped down and then was selling. And again, keep in mind, we're looking at a bunch of different charts, a bunch of different stocks as the morning unfolds, but great teamwork in there. And one of our new all-stars, Stephen B., posted that LVS was right around here when it looked like this was right near pre-market lows. Okay, I don't keep pre-market on my charts because it makes them weird. And I'm so used to looking at a clean chart. However, again, another testimony to the teamwork in the chat room because I could have put pre-market on my charts, but usually there's somebody with it. So anyway, when he said that, this already met my bottom feeding parameters. Okay, it's getting killed. All these 5-minute candles, then you get a longer one in distance here, longer or in size, however you want to word it. Than the ones preceding it. So it's already selling for 4 or 5-minute candles in a row, and then you get this long one on bigger volume. Whenever I have that, I go to a lower time frame to look for an entry. Okay, so I went to 2s, which this is what it looked like on 2s. 2s is sort of my default way to get kind of that X-ray view inside of that long 5, right? So you had consecutive lower highs here and a nice narrow 2. I said over the microphone after Stephen B. alerted that this was near pre-market lows, that hey, this could be a really low risk 2-minute candle setup, which would be a 34.82 entry, 34.71 stop. That is 11 cents risk, and look what happens. That was the low. I'm going to switch to 5s now, but that was the low of the day. We picked it clean there, and just hats off to Stephen B. for posting that. It got me on it and gave everybody a chance to make it to make a nice trade there. From 34.82 went to 36.48, $1.66 move in our favor on 11 cents risk. And there's a lot more highlights from today as well. Dunkin Donuts was in a big sell-off here. Looked just like this, only this was a solid red candle. You recognize the theme? You have all these 5-minute candles down in a row, and then you get this long one on volume. Couple that with the fact that when I looked at it on the daily, it was hitting the 200-day moving average. Okay, so whenever this is my main chart, this 5-minute chart. Whenever I click on this, it also populates smaller charts on my same screen at 2 minutes, 15 minutes, 60 minute, and daily. Okay, so when I'm looking at this and I've got this big sell-off, I also had a picture of the daily chart and saw it hitting the 200-day. Excellent place for it to possibly bounce, and it was already what we call a PFPD, or potential final push down anyway. And on this case, I switched to 1s and called Dunkin Donuts for the entire room on 1s, meaning first break of a previous 1-minute candle's high. So you have consecutive lower highs. This is beautiful because now you have even a lower high, but if it breaks this candle's high, I'm long, 29.47, and my stop's going to go below this little narrow 1-minute candle, 29.40. 7 cents risk. Are you ready for this? 29.47. I'll have to switch to 5s to squeeze it all in. It ended up going to 30.95. That's a $1.48 move on 7 cents risk. And I did say if it hit 31, I was buying everyone in the chat room donuts with my Dunkin Donuts profits. So I actually saved some money there because it didn't quite hit 31. I was rooting against myself. Okay, POT, Stephen B. again. Stephen B. again, all-star for a reason. POT was in this tight base. He called this at 43.83. If it gets up there, stop at 43.70. That's 13 cents risk. There's the trigger. And from 43.83, this thing goes to 45.33. $1.50 move on 13 cents risk. Unbelievable. Crocs was very strong. I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't want to chase it. But once it came down here, Crocs pushed down near the 20-period moving average on 5s. Switched to 2s here to look for an entry. Ended up calling it long over this candle, even though I put in another one in between. Even with a lower high. So technically, I was watching this on 2s. I didn't notice that this other candle popped in, or it would have been a 1589, 1581 trigger and stop. I went ahead and played it over 1590, which was right there, and my worst case stop was down here, but it could have been below this candle. Anyway, once this gets moving, I'm at a break-even stop anyway. So this is about 8 to 10 minutes in, I'm at a break-even stop and scaled out of this thing the way we teach. And let's see, Crocs went to 16.79, so moved to 88 cents a share on 20 cents risk, or if anyone took it over this candle, a lot less than that. FTNT, very strong. I called it over this 5-minute candle here, 24.70, 24.50 stop. This ended up being the low of the day again. a gap up, pulling back to that 20 period moving average. And it doesn't look like much, but even if 2470, this made it to almost 2550. So that worked as well. Nilesh from our room, not one of the all-stars yet, but he might be working on it. He called DeVry, DV, over this base, right around 1920. And look at this. And the stop would have been below that base, less than a dime risk, and it went to 20, almost 2040. So another beautiful call by a member in there too. Trying to think if there was anything else. Going over my notes, I think that was it. I think I covered them all. So unbelievable day, and I know I've left out of this video some of the other All-Stars calls. B-Turk made a call in CLF, I think, somewhere down here, but I didn't copy and paste it, so I don't know what it was, but I know he got over $1 a share. Oh, also BTU, the calls when BTU looked like this, looked exactly like this. I said, hey, over 1920, this might make a move toward the high of the day. BTU severely beaten up like the other calls, and it got through 1920 and got through the high of the day. I never did get that one, but we had members take that as well. I don't want to babble too much longer. I'm trying to keep these videos a little shorter, but just a great day, and I know the market was up huge, but I'm still very proud of the way our All-Stars and members found entries that gave unbelievably tight stops. And to me, that's what trading's all about, is low-risk entries. So it's not just, chasing stocks. It's finding important inflection points where the profit, the risk-reward is really in your favor. Okay, so enough said for now. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.